Caleb Plant is hilarious. He can be a bit arrogant. Don't get me wrong. That's not just me saying it. It's well known. He can be a little bit something. Here, let's see. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, here we are. Let's go back to the face off. Okay, I like the handlebars. I like the handlebar mustache. That's Caleb Plant's opponent. Caleb Plant's first fight back after losing to, here, let me pull his resume up. After losing to David Benavidez in a spirited performance. He didn't get knocked out, so that's what's up, I guess. Him and Edgar Berlanga had some words. And also, remember, Caleb Plant's a menace. He smacked the shit out of Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo ain't been seen since. Then had a mental collapse. Get well soon, Jamal Charlo. You know, he sent some goons after Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is just a fucking pervert, man. Can't stand him. You go Sweet Hands. I think that he's peaked as well. Don't get me wrong, good fighter. You know, but I just don't, it's hard to believe. See, he might see a championship again. You know, he might see a belt again if Canelo retires or moves up. He could possibly pick up a WBA world title since they bringing that bullshit back. But as far as, I've never considered Caleb Plant really elite. And we're going to break down his resume. Don't get me wrong, good fighter. Good fighter. I'm not going to say a great fighter. That's not my, he would say he's a great fighter. He likes to get a little arrogant. You'll say, you're a very good fighter, Caleb Plant. I'm a great fighter. And he'll tell you what to tell him he is. He that type of dude. Am I muted? What are they saying? Y'all saying something? I'm talking some shit. The husband of the very classy and beautiful Jordan Plant, PBC analyst.
Plant and McCumby will meet in a 12-round bout for the interim WBA super middleweight world title.
You think McCumby got a chance? He ain't never do nothing. And don't get me wrong, Caleb got some power when he want to knock your ass out. Let's go do a little bit of research on Mr. Trevor McCumby. Let's see what they have to say.
By knockout, plans to join the top elite 168-pounders with a big win over Caleb Plant. Let's hear from Trevor McCumby.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, Trevor?
Really good to see all of you. Happy to be here in the Beverly Hills. I want to thank the Prince of Prince, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ, for this opportunity. Tom Brown, Louis DeCubas, PBC, Gary Jonas, and Andrew McDonald. We're here, man, and we still got some training to do, but we're training really, really hard, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm all about on the 14th of September.
Oh, yeah?
All right, let's hear from his opponent, that man that is 22-2 with 13 by knockout, one of the most popular fighters today, the former IBF super middleweight champion, looking to become a two-time champion, Caleb Plant.
What's going on, everybody? Just want to, thank everybody that came out today to show support for this stacked card that we got on September 14th at the T-Mobile. And, I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank my manager, Luis DeCubas, TGB, Prime Video, and shout out to my folks from Tustin, T-Town in the building. So definitely appreciate that. And, I know I've been out of the ring for a minute, but I can assure you guys I've been using my time wisely. And even with all the big fights I've had, I'm proud to say that September 14th, you guys will see the best Caleb Plant that you've seen yet. And, this guy T-Rev over here, he wants to be part of the big leagues. And like I said before, what he thinks he's going to get and what's going to happen, two different things. This guy, he's been making Instagram videos with my name in it, talking about, certain guys who don't respect the sport, certain guys who get a couple big paydays and they just go, wallow in their money. And it's crazy to me that someone like him could make a video about me talking about guys who don't respect the sport. Because I respect the sport enough to step up with only 17 fights to fight a world champion, Jose Uscati, coming off a year layoff as an underdog, coming off a broke hand. You know, do you respect the sport enough to do that?
Oh, shit.
I respect the sport enough to not be a 31, 32-year-old prospect. Do you? I respect the sport enough to be a clean athlete. What about you?
I do.
You respect the sport enough to be a clean athlete? I read differently.
Ooh.
So, you know, I respect the sport enough to not go on a 4-year break from it like you. So
Wait a
It
minute.
don't make no sense to me that out of everyone in boxing, you're going to make a video about me, Caleb Plant, not respecting the sport? You know me, I live and die by this. Live by the sword, die by the sword. So September 14th, make sure you save that money because that's your first and your last big payday. I promise you that.
So wait a minute. What video did he make? Is it this one?
Just come with some knowledge, do your homework. Promoters are on the fighter's side, which they should be.
What are you talking about, Trevor? What are you talking
Guys,
about?
Google is free. You can compare resumes, you can look at past title defenses, and you can tell me who ain't fought nobody. Just come with some knowledge, do your homework. Promoters are on the fighter's side, which they should be. And I'm willing to make those big fights, and that's all I'm saying. You guys have a good day. God bless.
Man, where's this YouTube video at? What shit was he talking? Is Caleb Plant just making stuff up? I know he's not. I'm just saying. So let's go look at Mr. McCumby's resume. Ain't nothing there. And also, why did he take that long layoff from the sport? And what is Caleb Plant hinting at? Like, what did McCumby do? Did he do something he wasn't supposed to do? I haven't heard anything. And by the way, yes, it's nothing on his resume of note. I mean, I know Chris Pearson, but for the most part, you know, he's supposed to be a tune-up for Caleb Plant. 28-0 with 21 KOs. I mean, that power, though, you can't, you know, it's something there. In fact, let me go see if I can find a little clip of him knocking somebody out. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, through my little 2-minute investigation, I've learned that he fought on the Top Rank card back in 2018, November the 16th. No, he knocked somebody out. This doesn't show me anything. It doesn't give me what I need. I want a little short clip of him knocking somebody out. Where we at? Where we at? I can't find no tape. Let me see. Trevor McCumby verse. Let's see. Are you on here? Let's see. What is this tape? Is that you, McCumby, with the jab? Shit, this was 10 years ago. That ain't gonna help me. I don't want to watch no tape from no 10 years ago. Let's see. See what we can do. This guy don't got no tape. What's this? Some tape. This was from a year ago. He fought a Sharif Hayes. Trevor McCumby. Let's see. Let's pull up the resume right here. When was that? Well, shit. Where these old ass fights come from? He not even on. Oh, this was his debut. I don't want to. You know what? I'm looking for tape in real time and I can't find none. So I can't pick you to beat Caleb Plant, Trevor McCumby. You never even been on no type of stage. No big stage, no little stage, no type of stage on YouTube. He don't got no stage. By the way, this fucking pay-per-view was $89.99 and lost their minds. They lost their minds. So what's next for Caleb Plant? He's supposed to be fighting for the WBA interim title because see what happened is both David Morrell, he's gone. He's moved up to 175. Benavidez moved up to 175. Berlanga is the mandatory all of a sudden for Canelo. William Skull and Christian Mbili should be fighting for the vacant. Actually, no. It's probably going to be William Skull and Vladimir Shishkin fighting for the vacant IBF, because William Skull was ordered to fight Canelo, and Canelo was like, nah, we ain't fighting him. Caleb Plant's fighting to be the next WBA mandatory against Trevor McCumby. But realistically, I don't see no Canelo versus Caleb Plant rematch. So who should Caleb Plant fight next? Jaime Munguia, who's going to be fighting to be the WBO mandatory, from my understanding, against Eric Bazanian. And that fight is going to be when? That's coming up in like a few weeks. It's going to be on ESPN, though, Top Rank. And no, Jaime Munguia, according to Oscar De La Hoya, is not a top rank fighter. He's just fighting on a top rank card. This card is a month away. And from my understanding, it's a WBO eliminator. So I think that makes sense for Caleb Plant to fight either Edgar Berlanga if Berlanga loses, or if not, fight Christian Mbili. I don't think that's going to happen. Fuck it. Demetrius Andre. So listen, he's got options. Demetrius Andre, remember, he's still kicking around out there. Caleb Plant wins against McCumby. He can fight. I'm talking about something. He can fight fights that'll lead somewhere, possibly, or get him some clout. Berlanga, depending on how Berlanga does against Canelo, Christian Mbili, Jaime Munguia if he beats Eric Bazanian, and long shot fights, maybe Demetrius Andre or Bakhtir I always butcher his name, Malakouzayev. There you go. But for me, I think he should target Jaime Munguia if Jaime Munguia wins on September the 20th. That's what I think he should target. Or target Mbili or the winner of William Skull Shishkin for that IBF title and to get himself back in the mix. That's how I think he can, get himself to a title shot, another championship. As I said earlier, he can be a world champion again. There is a path for him, unlike I said earlier with Rolly Romero. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy. In fact, here is my Twitter, and here is what people think. By the way, look at this shit. Australia getting done dirty. So they got Nikita Zoo fighting for $70 over in Australia. And he's a prospect, fringe contender. And then look, $90. Let's see what the people have to say. When the David fight happened, it's going to be $99. I can believe it. I don't think the David fight's going to happen. I have a hard time believing it. People talking about streaming it. It's a doggone shame, man, they doing this to us. It's like they hate us. People pissed. They hate us. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I know I keep saying it, but people don't be hitting the subscribe button, man. So, I'm going to lighten up on telling you to subscribe, though I know some people find it annoying. So, all right. On to Erislandy Lara versus Danny Garcia. Now, I really like this fight. I do admit I really like Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara. For one, Erislandy Lara is almost 42 years old. He's getting up there, really long in the tooth. He's been around forever. Don't you know? He's been around since Knockout Kings 2 on PS2. He's been around like 3 console generations. He was around fucking for Nintendo 64, GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox One, the whole generation. He's been around forever. Let's go look at it. Let me make sure, man, I'm not tripping. Because I remember watching him in my grandmama's house with my grandpa. 33-3 with 18 KOs, the American Dream. He's the new Gary Russell, by the way. He comes out once a year for his mandatory defense or to knock out some scrub, and then he goes back into hiding. For example, look at his last 5 fights. Ew. Probably one of the worst resumes of a champion. Ew. Look what he's done. People were mad at the Carlos Brian Castaño fight too, but that turned out to age really well. So listen, he fought Canelo's balding brother, Ramon Alvarez. And if I'm correct, Was that the last fight on PBC on Fox? Anyway, he fought Canelo's brother. I guess he wanted revenge for all those years, so he beat up Canelo's kinfolk. Greg Vendetti. Thomas LaManna. Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Mick Zarafa. By the way, Mick Zarafa returns next week. He's trying to get in the key to zoo. He's fighting the fucking Tommy Brown. Australian boxing. Going to be covering that with Big J. And then he's fighting Danny Garcia. So Danny Garcia is the best fight he's fought since 2019. And they've been trying to put together this Danny Garcia fight for about 3 years now. That Mick Zarafa fight was supposed to be Danny Garcia, but Mick Zarafa invoked his mandatory status. And Danny Garcia, well, one thing about Danny Garcia is he will come to fight, but he's getting long in the tooth too. Danny Garcia is like 36, or is he 37 now? Danny Garcia's been around for a while, 36. But back to what I was saying, look how long Lara's been around. 2008. Listen to this though. Listen to this. This is gonna fuck you up. He fought Paul Williams in 2011. Carlos Molina in 2011. You know how long ago that was? That's like razor phones. There wasn't even a Premier Boxing Champions. Let me see. What notable things happened in 2011? What notable events in 2011? Let's see how long this motherfucker been around. Let's see. Did they get Osama bin Laden? They talking about Charlie Sheen. I don't even think the Avengers were together yet. Well, anyway, move on. That's how long ago that was. And look, for the most part, he has had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. This will be his 5th fight since 2020. 5th fight since 2020. But this will be the first time he's had 2 fights in a year since 2019. That's interesting. By the way, I didn't talk about it, but Caleb Plant's resume is pretty suspect too. Well, I'm talking about as far as activity is concerned. Danny Garcia, 37-3 with 21 KOs. Jose Benavidez, that was back in 2022, so he's going to be on a 26-month layoff once he steps into the ring. Errol Spence, he was also on a near 2-year layoff when he fought Errol Spence. Ivan Radkach, Adrian Granados, and basically, you know, the biggest win he's had since 2019, since 2018. 2018, 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, has been Jose Benavidez Jr., where he won majority decision. Like Danny Garcia, Philly stand up, you know, but right now, I mean, this may be it for him. And unless Lara gets old overnight, Lara should. But then again, Lara's legs are not what they used to be, and we got to see Danny Garcia coming off this layoff. You know, does he have it in him to keep up the pressure? You know, this should be a hard camp for him. He shouldn't be like this. This should be a fight where he's training for like his career, because this could be a career match. Lara ain't no joke. And then where does where does Danny Garcia go from here? So looking at the 160-pound division, it's just all over the place. Carlos Adames, Erislandy, Lara, WBA. Janabek Alimhanallah, IBF and WBO champion, damn near died of dehydration trying to make 160. I think he should have lost his belts. He was supposed to fight Andre Mikhailovich not even about a month or so ago, but he couldn't make it to the scales. So in my opinion, if you can't make it to the scales, that's like you not making weight. The fight shouldn't, you should be stripped. So it's a division that's all over the place. And really, do you want to see like a undisputed champion? I mean, I want to see it, just so all the belts can be unified. But it's just a division that really doesn't really have anything. By the way, Chris Eubank Jr. was in talks to fight Canelo, and I think Canelo is going to fight him next. But we're seeing Chris Eubank Jr. on the Bertabiev Bivol card October the 12th, taking on the Kamil Zermeta. That's the guy who fought Golovkin several years back. So it's a division that's like really just all over the place. And if I was to say what would be next for the winner, and I'm not mentioning Terrence Crawford, I'm just not going to do it. what would be realistically next for the winner? I'm guessing Shane Mosley Jr. is the mandatory, but like, what big fight do you want to see in this division? Like, what's the super fight of the 160 pound division of fighters that are currently at 160? I mean, look, you got Adames, Lara, Ali Mahanala, Hamza Shiraz. Yeah, he's good. I like him. Chris Eubank Jr., Shane Mosley Jr. just tugging about right there. Liam Smith. You know, it's just a dead division. Ain't nothing really there that I'm like, yo. Anytime Erislandy, Lara, and Danny Garcia is the interesting fight in 2024, damn near 2025, something is wrong with the division. So, once again, thanks for watching. Drop a like, and we're going to be here covering this entire card. So, therefore, we're almost done.